Hey beautiful Jizzy, just wanted to wish you a massive happy birthday. We've made this little compilation of videos, so hopefully you like it. And welcome to Chrisville. Hi everyone, Regina Turner here. Just wishing Lizzy,
Darling, over this way.
oh hi everyone. Just wishing Jizzy? Is that her real name? Hold on, I think I have it written down somewhere. Oh yes, Lizzy. Happy birthday, Lizzy. This is a little video from all of your friends. So the first question that all your friends are gonna answer is oh darn it, I can't read this. The first time we met. The first time we met. I've never met Jizzy.
So I met Liz on the first day of secondary school, which was a ridiculous 18 years ago. I saw her walking across the hall, and she was wearing her blonde hair in pigtails, which I thought was really cool, and she just looked so confident and cool, and like she knew what she was doing, and I was so nervous. So I thought she's gonna be my friend. So I sought her out, and the rest is history.
So I was trying to remember the first time I met you. I think that the first time I met you was different than the first time I saw you. So the first time I saw you, I didn't actually see you first, I heard you first. And it was in histopathology. Remember that phantom room with the like where you used to have to sit in your little clusters and around microscopes and pretend that you knew what you're talking about and looking at cells and neurons and all this different shit. And I remember my group was like super dull, and like fucking Borbag, Anna Bradley was in it, and I think Camille Naidoo was in it, who I fucking despise, and just like generally terrible people. And then I just remember looking over at your like Sparkle Bomb group, and you were just like giggling an absolute chortle fest, and the noise that was coming out of this little tiny person. I was like, who is this cracker? And obviously that you're very beautiful, because I was very much still straight then. Maybe I still am. Maybe this is just a really long game. No, so I remember that, and then I remember thinking, must secretly befriend her. But my first memory of actually properly talking to you and being alone with you was I used to like phantomly walk you home through Starmillis, even though I lived in Queen's Halls and it was not even close, and I used to walk you back through back down the road and through. And I also remember one of my other really strong memories of our initial friendship was before we reconnected again, on elective, was phantomly going house viewing with you, and when you were going to live with Rebecca and Chris Galt, and like you taking me to show me this house that literally looked like a dilapidated shed, and you're like, yeah, I think we're going to pick this one. I was like, Lizzy, there's an open fireplace, there's essentially single glazing, there's no insulation, and you were like, yep, this is the one. So I remember thinking, nice girl, not good when it comes to buying property, or investing in property, but I hope that you've learned something and that your new house at least has windows with glass. That would be good.
So first time we met, that was in UIO when I think we were 16, maybe 17. We met in the toilets while drunk, so how apt. Little did we know that our friendship was going to be built on further, like many years of beautiful toilet experiences together.
So, my first impression of you, Lizzy, first time we met, I actually can't remember the point when we first met, sometime in first year. Actually, honestly, it doesn't feel like I've ever not known you, so I can't actually remember the first time. Dementia brain. But I think in fourth year when we got really close, I think that was when I really got to know who you were properly, and so many good memories of that time. Getting drunk, pretending to study medicine, having the most ridiculous nights out. It was a great time. But yeah, you just always have come across as the most sparkly, fun to be around person with an amazing smile, and yes, it was amazing getting to know you that time.
First time I met Lizzy, it was 2010. We met at Camp America in New Jersey. Yay, here's to Oxfam. And I remember thinking that she was just like this sweet, innocent little angel who was just a ball of loveliness.
So the first time I actually met Lizzy, we were outside some sort of medical class that I attended in body but not mind. And I think we were in the queue. And you'd never spoken to me before. I only knew you as the really fun girl who was always late. And you told me that you really liked my hair. And I think it was a particularly putrid shade of brown at that time. So I just thought that was really super kind. But I think the first time our souls really met was in that weird coffee shop in Thailand. That they were always grinding coffee, but there was never any actual coffee. Such a mystery. But we knew each other, but not that well. And we sat down, and you just blurted out, "Can sperm swim?" And I just was like, "Oh God, just get me an orange juice and give me 5 minutes." And I think that's just a real testament to our friendship, that we were just started off in the absolute trenches. But yeah.
I met Lizzy doing Camp America. She was my cabin mate. We shared a room for the whole summer. I don't really remember my first impressions of her, but I do remember that she let me share her toothbrush for the first week of us knowing each other, which is definitely weird but also incredibly generous. I think that probably summarises Lizzy pretty well. Weird but extremely kind.
Huh. That was interesting. And the next question is, your favourite memory? I remember everything.
My favourite memory with Lizzy is probably when she lied about her GCSE results to try and impress me.
Favourite memory of Liz, honestly, where do I start? I think one of the ones that always comes to mind, and something we always laugh about to this day, is when we went to Ibiza when we were 18 years old with another former friend, and she ditched us, and we thought it would be really hilarious to move her bed while we were drunk. So we spent ages moving this really heavy wooden bed into the bedroom where our two beds were, and then we got scared and moved it back.
So this question's really hard because I have so many lovely memories with Lizzy. Mostly the ones in Tamworth where we just held hands and ate beans and rice together, sweeps, and went for loads of runs that were actually just really long walks with feelings. But probably one of my most favourite memories was again in Thailand. We were on a boat, I don't know where, that nearly capsized, I don't know why, and you just burst into spontaneous song. I think it was that song, "This Way That Way Forwards and Backwards Over the Deep Blue Sea," and it just kind of rescued everyone from the brink of completely freaking out, and I was really impressed that you knew all the words as well, and it was just really fun.
My favourite memory of Lizzy, it's really hard to pick one out of so many awesome experiences we've had, but yeah, a couple stand out. I think the times when we would have went to see the Ulster Orchestra on a Friday night, the cheap standby student tickets, thinking we were also cultured, having a beautiful classical music cultural experience, and then going out straight afterwards and getting absolutely shit-faced, and probably ending up in the Kremlin watching a drag show or something like that. That was the pretty much highlights of university times. And I think my personal favourite was the time when we were travelling in Vietnam and had arrived in Hoi An, the nation's wardrobe, where all the tailors and beautiful clothes makers live. And of course, woke up one morning still absolutely steaming from the night before, and Lizzy just takes herself off, goes around These on her own. Oh my god, like how you didn't get mugged, I don't know. Going around all these markets, absolutely stocious, and buying the most ugly, ridiculous clothes. And they probably saw you coming like a mile off and charged you like 100% extra. I don't know, but how proud you were when you came back to show everyone your beautiful purchases. They're like, what about this? Huh? What about this? Huh? Your glee and excitement at these horrendous, hideous outfits, something I will never forget.
The favourite memory, I think I have to cheat. I've got two. The first one is when there was that, it was in Vietnam, and there was that little Chinese lady singing her Chinese heart out in the taxi bus, and it was just like her karaoke moment had come, and everyone was like, oh how cute, and Lizzy was like, oh, must show her how it's done. So of course cue Lizzy's manly Danny boy voice coming out, and yeah, you just went for it for a long time. But it was absolutely hilarious, and I will definitely take that one to the grave. The second favourite memory is really unstable. That time we bought a human-sized jar of buttons that were never to be sewn on anything, but I needed them. So we brought the massive jar of buttons home and then just kind of motorboated it and rolled around in all the buttons. Very unstable, but it's, yeah, one of my happiest times.
I think my favourite memory with Lizzy is our amazing trip to Amsterdam, even the part where we woke up on a canal boat surrounded by flies. It was just so much fun, like hanging out with Lizzy always is.
My personal, I have two favourite memories, which I know is a cop-out, but one of them I just want to say was Croatia, because and basically just that 3-hour flight where we just screamed at each other the whole way while everyone else was trying to sleep hungover, and just reconnecting and having lovely times. But one of my other all-time favourite memories was in Tamworth, and I was there looking this weekend, so that's why I remembered it so vividly. And it's whenever you, Tim, and I like went for a run / jog / walk for you up to the top of that lookout, and yeah, it was just really lovely, and we watched the sunset, and it was just before you were sort of flying home, I think, and then we all went down and got pizzas from the Pink and Tinder box, and you had a delicious vegetarian pizza, and you were about halfway through it before you realised that the reason it was so delicious was that you and Tim had the wrong pizza, and you were actually eating his lamb pizza and he was eating your vegetarian pizza. So yeah, just that whole experience and that time together was really beautiful, and yeah, like that was a really favourite, a couple of my favourite memories of you.
What?
You've something in your teeth.
What?
You've something in your teeth.
Can't hear you, just press play. Describe Lizzy in 3 words.
Lizzy in 3 words. My absolute fave.
3 words, you have to be kind, caring, and just so much fun.
So describe Lizzy in 3 words. What do you think the 3 words are, sweet? Ball, ball, ball. This one was actually really hard because I can't just pick 3 words. So the 3 I've picked are bursting with kindness. You're just so kind, Lizzy. It actually radiates out of you, and just affects everyone around you. And I just really wanted you to know that.
So I've picked kind because you're a very, very kind, caring person. Generous because you're so generous with your time and your feelings and how much you care about us, and financially generous as well, and always get buying gifts and being beautiful and lovely. So that was number 2, and then the third one was just hysterical because you are literally the funniest, accidentally funniest person on the planet. Like, you're just so funny and you don't even mean to be, which is, it's so much, it just means it's so much more endearing and genuine. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna cry. So such a hysterical mess. I think it's like general sleep deprivation is making me very emotional right now, but it also just reflecting on our friendship is beautiful.
3 words to describe Liz: generous, hilarious, and late.
Well, I'd have to say that you're so warm and you're such a kind person, and you're so beautiful, inner and outer beauty.
I would say first one would be uplifting. I don't think I've ever chatted to you or spent time with you when you've started off with, oh, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what happened to me. You always start off with, how are you, what's going on in your life. You're always so interested in the person you're with, totally engaged with them when you're talking to them, and you always come away from talking to you, Lizzy, feeling better about yourself. Yes, you're an extremely uplifting person. I'd also say enthusiastic. You're just always up for any kind of banter that's going on, no matter what it is. Just throw yourself into situations wholeheartedly, and yeah, you bring out the best in other people with your enthusiasm, and everyone loves to be around Lizzy. I think the third one I'd have to say would be ridiculous. Like if someone said to you, Lizzy, let's jump on a flight to Greenland and skip work for 2 months, and you're like, oh my god, let's do it now. I think, I don't mean it as a negative. I think it's amazing how ridiculous you are. You just grasp life by the horns, and you just go with it no matter how crazy the idea is. And I love it about you.
What animal would Lizzy be?
I'm hungry.
If she was an animal, this one's easy. Obviously, she'd be a bear dog.
So what animal would Lizzy be? I've picked a sloth because you're super cute, super slow, and a little bit furry.
And if you're an animal, I think you'd be a beautiful, tiny, little fluffy chicken with little cocktail sausages for toes. Oh.
I'm not really thinking much of an animal person. If I'm completely honest, I think that you appreciate animals as long as they're very much not part of your life. So I thought that you're definitely not a cat post the Kumar experience. But if you were an animal, I think we all know that you would be a little possum, because you would just be like possuming about and like afraid to do anything whenever you're forced to move, or you just move extra slow. So yeah, possum for you, babe.
If Lizzy was an animal, she would be, I really don't know, like a Tasmanian devil, because they look kind of cute, but then are totally weird, but in a boss way.
If you were an animal, I think you would be something that's really social. Probably would be the runt of any litter. So I'd say like chimpanzee. I can just imagine you just there, the little tiny runty chimp, like picking out the nits and the other shit out of other chimps. Yeah, in a really social way. Probably would get picked on a little bit because you're tiny, but everyone would really love you, and yeah, you'd be the fun little sidekick for everyone.
If Liz were an animal, I think she would be a hedgehog, because she can be very feisty, but she also likes to take a lot of naps and curl up in little balls when she is sleeping.
Oh my goodness. Who would play Lizzy in a film? Go away.
Who would play Lizzy in a movie? Well, the only talented actress that I can think of who could do the beauty, intelligence, humour and all-round wonderfulness of Lizzy Donaghy justice is Lizzy Donaghy herself, as you may remember her from the beautiful film Titanic Town.
Thinking about who would play Liz in the movie of her life, there is an American actress called Kirsten Bell, who is this really beautiful, blonde-haired, funny woman, and she always reminds me of Liz. But I also think there are certain qualities that Barbra Streisand and Jeff Bridges could bring to the production, so any of those three.
I think Jennifer Lawrence would be good at playing you. She's really funny. Seems to love the crack. She's got this like inner man streak, which I love, and I think you have that as well, Lizzy, and I love that kind of dark sort of crazy side that comes out every now and again, and I guess that's one of my favorite qualities. Damn it, I should have said that in the 3 words. Your manliness I love. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling.
I think the person to play you in a film would be Betty White, because outside she's like this super cute little old lady, but inside she's got this hilarious dirty mind that I love.
So I literally don't know. I think like someone obviously very pretty and beautiful, so it would probably be like maybe Emma Stone. Don't really think there's anyone else I can think of who would pull it off, because I only say her because she's got a really dirty laugh as well and she's really pretty, so yeah, that should be you.
Bored now.
Darling, we have to. I spent all the money on the yacht.
Oh, okay. What is their best quality?
Lizzy's best quality, I think, just has to be her absolute unwavering ability to see the best in everyone and every situation.
I would say that your best quality is your caring nature. I think that you're a real sweetheart and you really care about all your friends and the people in your life, and you're such a supportive girlfriend to Pete, and you're such a supportive friend to me and to all of us guys, and I think you've looked after your family really well through some really challenging circumstances recently, and I think everyone should be grateful to have you in their life, because I definitely am.
Liz's best qualities are that she is fiercely loyal and supportive of her friends, and she is also such a trooper when it comes to drinking with a hangover, and I think that's a pretty great quality.
Your best quality, I think the way you just absolutely come alive and love being around your friends is one of your best qualities. I think I don't know if I've ever seen you in a bad mood, or because when you're with the people you love, you just are just so happy, no matter whether it's in a cave somewhere in the darkest, dingiest hole of Cosan Road or in a beautiful Highlands of Scotland. You're just always so thrilled and happy to be around your friends, and that rubs off on everyone else around you, and yeah, you really are. Well, if Lizzy isn't there, there's a massive hole. Not because you're massive, but personality.
Your integrity. I really think that you make everyone who's around you a better version of themselves, and I feel like that, and I think that's just an amazing quality to have as a person.
Well, Lizzy's best quality is obviously that she can smoke with her toes, but other qualities are your selflessness. You just give so much of yourself to the people and things that you care about. You instantly make people feel at ease with themselves. You're just really special.
Lizzy's best quality is her heart. She can light up the room, and she can make you feel like the most incredibly special person in the entire world, and she can do it all with so much love that she is just an incredible person.
What food would Lizzy be? Darling, is there any more asparagus?
When I think about Liz and food, I am always reminded of our dirty emerald takeaways that we used to get after the Limelight when we would go midweek during 6th year. It is actually a shocker that we managed to leave with any A-levels at all, never mind good ones. I would always have curry fried rice and 2 chicken balls, and I know that Liz is a vegetarian, but I feel like there was definitely more than one occasion when she also had a chicken ball. And other food occasions that come to mind when we would get really drunk and we would come home to Liz's parents' house and eat all of their food at 3 o'clock in the morning. And one time her mum shouted at her the next day and said there was butter everywhere, including on the iron and on the door handles. So I think if Liz was a food, she would be butter because she gets everywhere.
So I was actually going to pick butter, but then Orla took it. Fair enough, Orla. So the other food I've picked is garlic because you're kind of stinky. You always eat it just before we go for our walks. I'm only joking. I have picked garlic because I think everyone likes it and it makes everything better. But really, Pete, can you stop feeding our garlic before we go for walks?
If Lizzy was a food, she'd be one of the chicken Kievs that we used to eat on camp. Comforting, warm, but full of surprises.
I would say you would be a 15, as in the famous Northern Ireland tray bake. Not only because it's one of my favourite things from Northern Ireland that I miss dearly living in Australia, but because you're so sweet, a little bit sticky at times, bit of crunch, when because you do have feisty side as well, and yeah, just all around lovely to eat.
Wow, without a doubt you'd be a niblet and in a beautiful share bag.
The food that I think you would be a vegetable soup, because number one, obviously you're vegetarian, and then number two is because you make people feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
What food would Lizzy be? I've got to say it would be a McDonald's fillet of fish.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a beautiful, lovely birthday, and I'm sorry I can't be there. As you know, I wish I could just be there to sit and hold hands and feelings and share emotions and alcohol, mostly alcohol. But no, I really wish I could be there. I hope you have an amazing day, whatever you end up doing, and I just want you to know that I love you very much, and I hope you have a really fun-filled Christianoid / messed up, drunkenoid, Lizzy, whatever kind of day you want. I hope that's the day you have.
Happy birthday, Liz! I can't believe we're so old. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you handle turning 30 better than I handled it.
Hi, gorgeous girl. Happy 30th, Lizzy. Welcome to the club when your hair gets greyer and your farts get smellier. Maybe that's just me, I don't know.
Hey Lizzy, this is just a little message on your birthday to say I hope you have the most amazing 30th birthday. I hope it's filled with belly laughs and belly treats, and yeah, I'm just really sad I can't be there to celebrate with you, but we'll just have to party 30 times as hard in December.